One notable result of the support of the United Nations Country Team for the Development Aspirations of Sierra Leone in 2022 was strengthened systems and wider adoption of sustainable and climate-smart agricultural, fishery, and agribusiness practices. This led to over 10,000 farmers, including nearly 400 male youths and 400 female youths, and over 11,000 community members benefiting from improved access to information, inputs, technology, financial services, and linkages to markets. In the same breath, the UN contributed to the enactment of several development-enabling bills, including the recent signing into law of the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Bill, ensuring that at least 30% of leadership or decision-making roles are set aside for women. Additionally, the country progressively recorded a decline in maternal mortality ratio from 507 to 443, with efforts from agencies utilizing diverse strategies. Through collective efforts in pursuit of the achievement of the 2030 Agenda, the UN Country Team strengthened the capacity of the Ministry of Gender and Children Affairs and Rainbow Initiative to prevent and respond to sexual and gender-based violence and eliminate harmful practices. These are a snapshot of the progress made through the implementation of the 4 strategic priorities of the United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, namely Outcome 1, sustainable agriculture, food and nutrition security and climate resilience. Outcome 2, transformational governance. Outcome 3, access to basic services. And outcome 4, protection and empowerment of the most vulnerable.
FAO is currently supporting the transformation to a more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems, leaving no one behind. In Sierra Leone, our priorities are mainly 4. One is looking at increasing productivity along the agri-food systems value chain, improve livelihoods and nutrition among smallholder producers and households. The second one is looking at responsible governance and management of natural resources, and the third one being increased resilience of livelihoods to threats and crises, and the fourth one being support to social protection and interventions. For this particular project that we are here visiting, it's called the Green Jobs for Rural Youth Empowerment. This project is a global initiative which covers a number of countries, of which Sierra Leone is part of. It's aimed at providing soft and technical skill development and green job opportunities to rural and urban youth in the agri-food system sector.
The International Labour Organization is the only UN tripartite agency that brings together governments, employers and workers at the international and national levels to set labor standards and promote social justice. In Sierra Leone, we have empowered women through the provision of business development skills in the management of water points and the prevention of gender-based and sexual violence. Under the framework of the Opportunity Salon program, the ILO completed the maintenance of 33 kilometers of feeder roads in 2022. The ILO has also empowered 7 small medium enterprise contractors with appropriate skills in road maintenance through our labor-based employment-intensive investment program. And using our various global training modules, we have empowered many micro and small to medium enterprises to boost and grow their enterprises.
We at IOM, the International Organization for Migration, are working closely with the government of Sierra Leone, our donors, the UN family and civil society organizations to implement various migration management initiatives. In 2022, the government of Sierra Leone launched its first national migration policy. We constructed an integrated border management post at the border of Sierra Leone and Guinea. We also are working a lot on the youth, on technical and vocational training provided to over 500 Sierra Leoneans. We are working very closely on the most vulnerable, the Sierra Leoneans stranded in foreign countries, including victims of trafficking, and exploitation. We supported in 2022 over 2,200 Sierra Leoneans to their voluntary return to Sierra Leone, including some innovative and interesting cash-based intervention and reintegration schemes.
UN Women develops strategies and deploys them to unlock potentials for women and girls and accelerate the achievements for gender equality in Sierra Leone's development plan and in the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework. Our work in 2022 contributed to a number of key achievements, like the passing of a number of gender-related laws crowned by the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act 2022 and the Public Elections Act 2022, which made it mandatory to have at least 33% of women represented on all candidate lists. Our work contributed last year to extend integrated services to sexual and gender-based potential victims and survivors. We built the capacity of representatives of about 5,000 women farmers.
In the last 1 year, we have seen significant progress in the HIV response. The number of people who know their HIV status in Sierra Leone has increased from 61% to 73%. The number of people on treatment have also increased from 48,000 to 58,000 over the last 12 months. We have worked with UNICEF to develop new strategy for accelerating interventions to prevent mother-to-child transmission. We have introduced what we call pre-exposure prophylaxis for the key population community. We have worked with the members of the community to introduce what we call community-led monitoring. So they go to the field, collect data on the use of services, and where there are issues, then they can report, and we dialogue with the ministry to address these challenges.
In Sierra Leone, UNCT has been working to support digital finance and financial inclusion. Our work has contributed towards closing the gap for access to finance for over 20,000 women SMEs and over 2,000 women recruited to work as mobile money agents across the country with Orange. We have also been able to build capacity for Freetown City Council to manage access to water projects, and in 2023, we'll construct over 65 water kiosks in about 40 wards across the city. 36 women survivors of water-related SGBV have so far benefited from counseling, training, and empowerment opportunities that would see women playing key roles across the water value chain.
2022 has been a very good year for UNDP in terms of implementation of our program. The biggest is our election support project, basically to build the capacity of election management bodies in line with government intent and policy. We decided to work with the judiciary to have some court sessions in major prisons, and that has contributed to reviewing over 1,000 cases, and some benefited from releases. And we also support inmates in terms of skills development by providing them with equipment. We support fishing communities to help enhance their livelihoods. We have supported the Gateway Act from start to finish. Parallel to that also, we've been having village loan schemes for women, and this has reached over 2,000 women across Sierra Leone.
UNFPA has worked in Sierra Leone for more than 50 years to help end preventable maternal death, end unmet need for family planning, and end gender-based violence and other harmful practices such as child marriage and female genital mutilation. We provide more than 90% of reproductive health commodities in Sierra Leone. In 2022 alone, This support contributed to enabling 550,000 women to use modern methods of contraception, helping to avert more than 200,000 unintended pregnancies and 76,000 unsafe abortions. We helped train 260 midwives who are critical to preventing maternal and newborn death. We supported nearly 2,000 survivors of gender-based violence and almost 8,000 vulnerable girls at risk of child marriage.
By the end of the year, one of the greatest achievements of the year was that children, gross enrollment, net enrollment improved in basic primary education. In the health sector, we used the opportunity of fighting COVID-19 and the resources we're able to generate. And very importantly, it turns out that we're able to strengthen the vaccine management system, the cold chain system, and that is one of the reasons why by the end of the year, more than 4.3 million people of Sierra Leone had been vaccinated against COVID-19. We made significant progress with partners in the area of water, sanitation, and hygiene. We made significant progress with respect to supporting the government to ensure that every single child is registered.
In Sierra Leone, UNIDO has introduced a practical entrepreneur curriculum at the Government Technical Institute, particularly targeting the development of entrepreneurial skills among young people. A center of excellence has been established here at GTI, where we are in the process of doing more, of extending the existing facility through the procurement and installation of state-of-the-art modern training equipment and tools. We're also building the capacity of staff through study tours and other technical development trainings. We'll be providing post-vocational training, career service and business coaching to unemployed and underemployed youth to support access to employment, self-employment opportunities through public-private sector linkages, apprenticeship program, job matching service, and other automobile dealers.
UNOP supports the delivery of the National Development Plan in Sierra Leone. In 2022, UNOPS implemented projects in energy, fisheries, governance, health sectors, as well as disaster risk reduction and resilience. Some of our main achievements in 2022, we have improved maternal and child health care services by constructing basic emergency obstetric and newborn care facilities in vulnerable districts. We provided reliable energy sources for health facilities and households nationwide. We also supported and contributed to improving educational outcomes by enabling learners to study at night. We promoted gender equity through our gender action plans, which are part and parcel of our project delivery. We constructed an integrated fisheries landing site that provides basic infrastructure to prevent the contamination of fish. UNOPS has also implemented work on rehabilitating weak and non-performing infrastructure in vulnerable communities across the Western Area urban.
WFP supported over 14,500 affected people to meet their immediate food and nutrition security needs and also supporting their recovery. In 2022, a value of over $600,000 was distributed through mobile money to these households. WFP supports the government's free quality education and is a key implementing partner to improving education outcomes, provided daily hot meals in over 1,000 schools. This initiative creates a direct market within the community themselves for smallholder farmers, especially women groups, who supply rice and fresh vegetables to schools. More than 280 inland valley swamps were irrigated, and 1,300 farmers were trained in market access and post-harvest handling skills. WFP has established mother support groups in 150 communities in the most food insecure chiefdoms and carried out 2 national food security assessments and monitored market prices across 60 markets all in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security.
WHO works to support the government of Sierra Leone in areas like COVID vaccination, where Sierra Leone was one of the few countries in Africa to attain the 70% target coverage of the target population. We support integrated disease surveillance and response, and Sierra Leone has one of the best systems in Africa, where we are able to detect and also respond to epidemics quickly. We're also cooperating with other UN agencies in the Sexual and Reproductive and Safe Motherhood Bill, which is now before Parliament for consideration. We have also had the nicotine and the tobacco bill, which has been since passed by Parliament. We have worked to support the ministry in putting together an essential health services package and responding to the high maternal and mortality deaths. Also, one of the projects that UN agencies are working together on is the scaling up nutrition, the SUN nutrition, which WHO currently chairs, and it's a joint partnership where UN is supporting the government of Sierra Leone.
Even with these advances, significant challenges remain in the context of multiple and interconnected global crises. Efforts would have to be redoubled to support Sierra Leone in addressing long-standing weaknesses in the fundamentals of the national economy, in building resilience to natural hazards and external shocks, and in providing greater economic opportunities and empowerment for all Sierra Leoneans, regardless of region, gender, generation, or disability status. As a UN country team with 18 resident and non-resident agencies, funds, and programs, including the international financial institutions, we renew our commitment to faithfully accompany Sierra Leone in its quest for sustainable development as we present to you the 2022 Annual Results Report. In doing so, we would ensure that we work together in delivering as one UN and staying focused on our shared priorities of peace, good governance, gender equality, environmental sustainability, and ensuring that no one is left behind in accessing basic services and economic opportunities. Through productive collaborations, we advance the objectives of the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework.